At Quahog Honda and Subarus, we got Hondas and Subarus. Hey young world, I am Reese, the beautiful black beast of the Southeast. And this strapping young man here, no it's not Max. My apologies, he went to stay and visit some relatives today. This is my brother.
Marvin, what's going on, y'all?
And this is another Reese and Max, no, Reese and Marvin review for you. This has been a terribly busy weekend and also amazingly fun. We did so much. We had the MegaCon this weekend. John Wick, of course. We ate at Super Saiyan, this amazing anime-themed restaurant behind Dragon Ball Z.
It's near the attraction area, not that far from Universal Studios.
We had our nephew's graduation, so we had to go back home to West Palm.
Yeah.
All in one weekend.
Very busy, very fun weekend.
All right, today the subject of our review is going to be John Wick 3. Parabellum? The Parabellum. My apologies, young world. John Wick 3, the Parabellum, is the third in the series.
I mean, ultimately it's more the same, but you know what you get with John Wick. I mean, you're not going to see this amazing plot. I mean, it's action-based. I mean, revenge story, retribution. And basically, you know, you get, you know, exactly what you're looking for.
We're deep. So what were some of the good points of John Wick 3? What did I enjoy about it? The choreography was top notch and just very well done, where it was beautiful. Like Dad said, it was very reminiscent of an old Kung Fu movie. And just watching John Wick 3, I've already had a lot of respect for Keanu Reeves and his abilities, but you gotta believe that the work he put into it, the effort that he did in learning this choreography, man, it must have took so long and so many hard hours just to learn and be able to be so convincing with his moves, man. It was beautiful.
Especially at his age. I mean, he's been doing it for a while. I mean, I think it's something he do in his spare time. But, you know, ever since the Matrix films, he's, you know, been on point. Even as his movies progress, you can see his, he gets better at it. I mean, in the Matrix, you know, you can see, I mean, that was back in '98, I think. And you can see some of it was telegraphed a little off, but it's got better as it's going along, especially in this series. It really looks fluent and natural.
So they had the introduction of animals, and they had German Shepherds, attack dogs in this one. Those attack dogs were so brutal and so...
the only thing I did recognize that particular character is who he said it was his students were the two guys who you might know from the Raid films, where they do some extremely brutal combat and some crazy parkour stuff, and they martial arts is insane. He had a scene near the end of the movie where he fight two of them, which in his glass room, which is nuts, man. I mean, never seen so many hip tosses and throws, and they was going back and forth, and that was very enjoyable. Every location where there's a fight, the choreography was spot on. I mean, you know.
The actual hotel where most of the things were going down, what was it called? The Continental.
Yeah, the Continental, yeah.
Oh my God, behind the scenes, like, so you have the hotel and then you have these hidden rooms that were used for all kinds of secret meetings and what have you. Like, it was just amazing scenery, and these sets were just gorgeous, and like, it was what you would expect in a high budget movie.
You know, I haven't seen them in a movie in a while. I can't remember the guy named Mark Damascus or something crazy like that, but I've seen him in a few movies, not a whole lot. I think Brotherhood of the Wolf, and he was in Drive with Kadeem Hardison, in that crappy Double Dragon movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't know it was him until I saw the credits, and then I was like, wow, this guy's been away for a while, but his role, he played it extremely well.
Oh, you didn't recognize him before?
No, I didn't.
Actually, what's funny is the guy, he was the host of Iron Chef. Did that come
Yeah,
on?
you kept saying that, and I'm like, why does he keep? I thought you were saying Iron Chef because when he's introduced in the scene, he's actually at like a sushi bar, and he was actually cooking, and I'm like, well, that makes it even funnier now that I know he was doing the Iron Chef because he was, you know, he was doing the cooking, and I'm like, I thought that's why he was saying Iron Chef in the movie. I'm thinking, all right, he tried to be funny, Iron Chef, ha ha ha, but wow, I didn't know that.
And then that's the funny thing because he's a comical host. He's always exaggerated and stuff. He is like, we cook now and stuff. And then his character in the movie, he was so comical. Like
yeah, he brought that same energy.
Yeah.
But the way he did it, I don't think he was over the top with it.
Oh no.
But he was still comical, and just the way he said his lines, like, you know, it's serious but jokingly, and jokingly but serious.
And so far, you haven't disappointed.
You know, you kind of seen that kind of villain, but he just, the way he did it, I thought it was well. He did a rival very well. I mean, when they threw hands, they threw hands. What we do like about the series is the continuity and the way they start off right from the last one. So, I mean, if you've seen the last movie, well, you know, he did what he did to get excommunicated, and he's, you know, up against the clock running. He got an hour before he get excommunicated, whatever. So it flowed right in there. And he's trying to get himself fixed up just at the beginning of the movie. He's trying to get himself taken care of, and, you know, he run into one of the assassins like, yo, I still got time left. This guy didn't give a damn. He was just like, nobody's gonna know, and they just started going at it.
And he made him pay for it.
Yeah, that was one of the first brutal scenes, which I'm pretty sure y'all seen from the trailer. It's a book scene, and even another monkey wrench where I like the writers. You know, you just can't keep it. You got to throw it up. You know, change it up. So now he got an adjudicator that works for the high table. She coming in, going to the spots, and she's scolding the people that helped him in the last movie, especially the guy at the Continental. You know, she's like, hey, why did you let this happen? Why did you let him break this rule? And then even after you break it, why did you let him leave him alive? Why did you give him an hour of time? So
the contrast in the movie is just crazy. Like, in the world of these ruthless assassins, they break the law for a living, that they would have these strict rules that they have to abide by. It's a complete world underneath the world that we live in. And it's insane. It's very enjoyable. It's very classy. I love the class of the movie.
Yeah, it's like they are very classy. The way they dress, the way they speak, their clothes, their money, the way they do things is very sophisticated. This ain't no ranky-dank operation, you know what I mean? Say if there's anything I didn't like, this dude take a pound. And you know, I'm willing to suspend, you know, disbelief. You know, it's an action movie. You know, I mean, we ain't no Fast and Furious. It ain't that bad. It ain't, you know, it ain't that bad. But this dude take a beating, and it's like, all right, nowhere in hell you should be. I mean, it's a scene where you saw him get hit. This man got hit by 2 cars back to back. I'm like,
oh yeah.
I'm like, what the?
No broken bones or anything.
Yeah, he got up, you know, and then because as I stated previously, that adjudicator came to, you know, right the wrongs of the people who helped him. So she came to punish them, and one of the people she punished isn't happy. So now he wants revenge as well, and they left the door open for part 4.
Part 4? Possibly.
And I'm not sure. Don't quote me on this, but I heard that he said as long as, you know, people are willing to see him, you know, he'll keep making them. We had some guys here for a larger review, but due to some technical difficulties, things went a little rocky.
The movie started off right where the last one ended off, and I'm surprised you even knew that.
I just assumed because it was it started off very action-heavy, and he was already in mid-run in the middle of the street, and you could see the blood spraying.
Yeah, that's exactly, it left off, it started, exactly where the last movie left off, which,
I actually like that.
I agree. I agree with that.
Kept the action going right away to the new movie, so I did like that.
Yeah, well, you know what? And that's actually how the second movie started off. So
that's true.
From the first movie, at the end of the first movie, the second movie picked up exactly where that left off, and then they used the same method in the third movie, and you know, it all flowed consistently. It went together well.
And see, that's the thing. I didn't finish the second movie. I only watched like half of it, but I don't feel like I missed too much as far as watching this one. Like I could just go right along with it. Even though he was literally started, he was in mid-run. And I didn't feel like, oh damn, why is he running? I could just, speculate that, he had just come from some kind of intense battle, and he was running and getting ready to fall into another intense battle, very short.
That's true. I mean, they could all be, if the truth be told, they could all be standalone movies. You don't really need to watch the other movies to appreciate either one of them, but it helps. I mean, you know specifically what they're talking about, but they all can stand alone on their own.
Well, it's not a plot-driven series. I mean, it's nice that it has a little underlying story, but most, everybody wants to see John Wick because he's kicking ass.
Right.
Yeah,
Pretty
now,
much.
the one plus I will say is those choreographed fight scenes.
Oh, they were
yeah.
Some of the hardest I've
Yes,
seen
they were
in
off the chain.
such a long time.
They were off the chain.
It's like a faster paced, old school kung fu flick.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
And that's what made Halle Berry's scene kind of look different, because you can tell Keanu Reeves actually practices it and he knows it. So his is more fluent and he can do it at a faster pace.
I agree with that.
And Halle Berry still kind of got like the old wait, okay, punching and grab type.
And I noticed that too, and I don't really like that because it don't seem that realistic. It seems like they kind of telegraph the moves and you got to pause because you know what's coming. But I agree with that. Through the entire series, it's always been like that. It seems. But what I really like about it is it don't seem that far-fetched. It seems like he fights from a more tactical. His style of fighting, you can see it's kind of mixed. It seems like a little kung fu, like a little Krav Maga, and then you can see like a little grappling, a little. It seems very mixed and tactical to me, and that's what I like about it.
Okay, so that wraps up another edition of Reese and Max, which this week is actually Reese and Marvin's reviews. Don't let your distractions hinder your actions. Goodbye, young world.
Later.
Max, you just do that, like I said.
Thought it went well.